Is a wraparound mortgage even legal? I mean, I can see how you might have that question because there are a lot of moving parts and it is rather unconventional. And if it were legal, imagine how many other deals you could actually do. I mean, if you could actually put this to work, you may never need another dime of your own money, another point of your own credit score ever again. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what a wraparound mortgage is, what the benefits and risks are, and what there is to be done for you to stay off of America's Most Wanted list. Not really that dramatic, but you want to do it right. First, what is it? Well, a wraparound mortgage is a mortgage that wraps around an existing mortgage. So typically we'll have a primary mortgage that's already attached to the house. This is the original mortgage. And the seller will offer another mortgage, a type of secondary financing that wraps around. And this one might be, say, $75,000, thereby making the sales price of this property $175,000. Now the borrower or the buyer in this scenario will go ahead and make payments to both mortgages. And then the lender will make the payments to the original mortgage. And then the wraparound lender will take that payment from the buyer and carve out a little bit for the original loan, and they get to keep the balance. Now, wraparound loans, they can be very attractive to buyers because they can borrow money at a lower rate, even though it may be a little bit higher than the original rate. So if the buyer doesn't have great credit, they can purchase a property this way as long as the seller agrees. Further, they won't have to pay any closing costs for the second mortgage. Now, the seller benefit during hard times, like in times of recessions, they won't have a really big buyer pool, so they'll have to get creative and kind of make some concessions to put the deal together and actually sell their property. Additionally, the seller might also benefit because now they're getting a return on the money that they've lent to the buyer. Now, before I get into the disadvantages, the risks, and the legalities, if you can see how this would be a good tool in your investing toolbox, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because I post cool, creative, money-making strategies just like this each and every week, and you don't want to miss it. So the disadvantages or the risks to the wraparound mortgage is that the buyer could default and stop making payments. Thereby, the seller would still be responsible for this loan. And if they couldn't make it, the bank comes in, forecloses, and takes the property away. Now, there is a risk to the buyer as well. The buyer could be making payments to the seller, and the seller is not allocating a portion of their payment to the original loan, of which the bank could come and foreclose the property, take it away, and the buyer would lose the property, even if the buyer was current on their payments. And the third risk, the third thing that you want to really be concerned with is most mortgages, almost all mortgages these days, have an acceleration clause in their documents. It's called the due on sale clause. And what that does is it gives the bank the right to take the property back, or not necessarily take the property back, but to call this loan due if title transfers without the bank being paid. And should the bank decide to call it due, which rarely happens, but it can, if they call it due, that could tear down and break up the whole wraparound mortgage and kill the deal for both the buyer and the seller. So now the question that you came looking for an answer for, is this thing legal? The short answer is yes. These are legal to do, but they've become less and less common because of what I mentioned earlier, that due on sale clause. And violating that due on sale clause is not illegal. It can be breach of the contract between the original borrower and the bank, but it's not illegal. So to answer the question that you originally came here for, should you hire a lawyer for this? Now, although a wraparound mortgage can eliminate certain barriers for the buyer and the seller to complete this transaction, there are some legalities that you should be concerned with. A deal like this can give rise to some legal disputes, and those you need to be aware of. I mean, that could be between the bank and the original borrower, or it could be between the buyer and the seller. So with that said, you may wish to contact a real estate lawyer if this is going to be a possibility for you. Your attorney can advise you on how to do this properly and can also represent you in court proceedings should that come up, but it rarely does. So there's a number of creative financing strategies that are available to you as a real estate investor. And what I've done is I've put together a little cheat sheet. There are 21 creative financing terms. This is the same cheat sheet that I give to my private clients. And if you'd like a copy, I'd be happy to give it to you for free. I'll also include the deal templates, the creative deal templates that you can kind of just use and copy and paste and put them into your deals. So you can look at the link down below. It's epicbreakthrough.com. I put it in the description so it's easy for you to access. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.